Hi everyone and welcome to Lucy Kate Crochet. Today I'm going to talk to you about pattern testing. Pattern testing is a surprisingly controversial topic, not least because some of us choose to have pattern testers and some of us don't, but because being a pattern tester is this shockingly competitive thing. I've never applied to be one, and nor have I, so far, asked for pattern testers, and yet I constantly see references on other people's YouTube channels or comments under Instagram posts with people filled with frustration about not being selected for the process. So for a myriad of reasons to date, I've been quite happy to not have to dip my toes into the pattern testing pool. Things are about to change. I have a couple of exciting new projects for Lucy Kate Crochet that will mean that probably pattern testing is actually something that I should start to do. I made a whole video about 4 months ago about why I don't pattern test my patterns with external pattern testers when I probably should. The whole pattern testing problem is one that's reared its head again for me recently. I was a few months ago, and until literally a few weeks ago, quite comfortable with my decision not to outsource pattern testing. I go through all the reasons for that in that other video that I referenced before, but in a nutshell, I take really detailed notes as I go. I am so familiar with the way that I write patterns and how I envisage the designs that I'm going to make that I can read the script that I've written for the pattern and see what it's describing. So I can quickly pick up if I've made any sort of errors when I'm taking it from my notepad to my computer. I put up a fairly significant quantity of patterns because I get very into what I'm doing and make quite a lot of different things, and I jump from one project to the next quite rapidly. But at a fundamental level, probably the main reason that I don't get external pattern testers is because I don't ever charge for my patterns. They're all free, so I don't feel like the pattern tester's getting anything out of the transaction other than the pattern slightly sooner than I would have just given it to them anyway. There are two things that are going to be happening on the website / in my crocheting life, hopefully, quite soon, that have really changed how I'm looking at the whole issue of pattern testers. A lot of people have been asking for PDF versions of my pattern, and there are all sorts of logistics involved in putting those together, and in fact I have outsourced that job to someone whose design skills are considerably more technically capable than mine, and it's an additional amount of time that I just don't have to produce them myself. So producing them is outsourced, therefore there needs to be a small charge incurred with when I share them with you. All the patterns on the website will still be free if you want to scroll down and follow along on the website and see the inserted ads, but if you want an ad-free downloadable version, then there'll be a small charge incurred for doing that. And as a result, I really think, therefore, that I need to be even more super sure that what you're getting is exactly what you've paid for. So I think I need other pattern testers. And the other thing is that I'm in the process of sketching out and putting ideas together for a book. And if the book comes together how I think, and if I manage to get the book published, then that is high levels of investment in knowing that that what I'm putting out there in print for the world is accurate. So that will absolutely need to go through testing. And that to me is even more justifiable, perhaps, in a sense, right? Because I'm able to give people the patterns way before they're ever going to be published, because, you know, book timetables. But also I could then, you know, give them a copy of the book when they finished, that sort of thing. So to me that feels like a much more fair sort of transactional way of doing things. But then of course that brings me into the logistics of pattern testing. So I have a PDF pattern, I have the first version of a potential layout for one of these PDFs done, and it's done for my donkey, this donkey. So many pattern tester calls that I see on Instagram are for these quick projects, and this is not a quick project. I think that it is accessible to someone who has, you know, been crocheting for a little while, has intermediate crochet skills. I hope that the pattern leads you through it in such a way that it's accessible to most levels of crochet, but you know, we'll find out if we pattern test it, won't we? But doing a pattern tester call for something that there's already a free pattern online for, to see if you want to pattern test a PDF version that you probably wouldn't have bought because the pattern's online anyway and is going to take you a while, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I suppose the purpose of this video is for me to hopefully get some feedback from you guys on whether this seems like a realistic plan in terms of the PDFs. For PDFs for upcoming patterns, and I've got a few that I've made that haven't gone anywhere yet, then that's again, it's a different story maybe. You know, you'll get a slightly earlier version of it, although I will have to write it up for the website before the PDF's made from it, so you can see I have trouble. But I also have cute toys. Do you want to see my unicorn? I can't remember if I've showed it off yet. I think I might have been the last one. I did, but still. I just knocked the light. That's probably okay. It's based on the donkey pattern, but it's a unicorn. I love the colours. This is now on the website. This again would be potentially a thing that we could make a PDF of. Pattern testing, psychologically for me, it's kind of a hurdle. It's not something I've had to deal with before. It will involve talking to strangers about my designs, which are probably feel more personal to me than maybe they should. But I do have a couple of people who have contacted me in the past and said if I ever need pattern designers, they'd be interested in doing that. So I will talk to them and hopefully that'll be good. But I'll try and get some other people to come on board as well. But that's quite a big deal, isn't it? But I don't know if they'll want to. Will they want to? Would you want to? Is that something you'd want to pattern test? Is my sort of often slightly overly embellished larger designs something that you'd be interested in pattern testing? What do you think? What do you think about the culture around pattern testing? That's really interesting, isn't it? Probably a video for another time. Anyway, also not one, I'm just on the outside looking in. I probably don't have a place to comment, but seems intense, right? I don't want to be an intense experience or hurt anyone's feelings by saying no to them if they offered a pattern test. And what if a lot of people offered a pattern test and I have to say no to some of them and then they feel sad? That's not cool either, is it? I don't know. Anyway, I might be overthinking this slightly. Also, one really good thing potentially about pattern testing that I hadn't really thought of before, I suddenly realised that it means that people will share more photos with me of the things that they make based on my patterns, which is just always the high point of my day when that happens. And you know, most people are shy and doing their own thing, and so I don't get to see them as often. But if you've made one of my patterns and you're happy to share it with me, or for it even to go on the page where the pattern is, then you can email that to me at hello@lucycakecrochet.com, and that would make me so pleased. But what are your thoughts? What do you think? Is that something that you reckon people are going to be keen to help with pattern testing? Is it a reasonable pattern testing transaction to get people to pattern test PDFs of patterns that they can already actually access for free? Again, the book thing it's a slightly different situation, isn't it? I think that's top level reasonable in the crochet pattern testing world, although a huge job, but maybe I get different people to pattern test different bits of it. It's a whole concept. I've had this idea of a way to make a pattern book that I don't think's been quite done in that way before. It's still got patterns, but yeah. I'll make a separate video on that if it gets approved as an idea by the publisher. But exciting times. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you pattern test for people? Is pattern testing something that you're happy to do? Do you feel like you're doing the person a favour? I hate asking people for favours, especially people I don't know. Oh, that's difficult for me. So yeah, share your thoughts, let me know what you think, and let's have a chat in the comments section below. Maybe you'll end up pattern testing for me. Who knows?